first edition of Everybody's Somebody. My name is Will Robertson, and I'll be your host. Also, I am the creator of the show. I created the show because I had two losses in my life, both of them at the same time, and it sent me down a negative path. People started treating me like I was a nobody, and I started to believe that I was a nobody. But by the grace of God, I changed my beliefs. That's why I believe this show is so important. First of all, allow me a minute or two to share with you my vision for the show. Number one, to educate, plant seeds of awareness, and give a realistic and clear understanding on certain life's topics through the eyes of individuals who have had or are living them. Two, to help one embrace and enhance self-esteem with some self-empowerment. But most of all, with this show, to send a message of motivation, encouragement, and attitude of never giving up, respect, hope, and inspiration. I would like to introduce to you two young ladies that have helped me get back on that path. First of all, I'd like to introduce Monica Holmes, a very special young lady to me, and also another young lady, Donna Nelson. Well, their stories have impacted me so much that people talk about lead by examples. These are two young ladies that led by examples. You know, they come from their heart. Anyway, let me let them tell you about them. Monica?
My name is Monica Holmes. I was born and raised in Brooklyn. Very good family. Didn't have a clue what I was getting myself into when I started. And I soon found myself in active addiction. A lot of people talk about you have to come from a broken family or be abused or neglected and things of that nature, but that's not always the case. I came from a very good home, well educated, well taken care of. And my first exposure to the street was through the pool room, the neighborhood pool room, where I saw the hustlers and the pimps and the big Cadillacs, and I thought that was the most exciting thing in the world. Little did I know where that would lead me. From then on, it was downhill, active addiction, but I must say, before even the drugs, I was addicted to the lifestyle. You know, now what has helped me stay focused and stay straight is that I belong to a 12-step fellowship that helps me work on those issues.
What exactly is a 12-step fellowship?
Well, I can't really give you the name because we're not supposed to do that, but 12-step fellowships are those fellowships where you go to address whatever addiction it might be. It could be sex, it could be shoplifting. Mine was drugs. Mm-hmm. So I go to a 12-step fellowship that helps me, and it guides me through the steps that I need to go through to become a better person and learn how to live without a drink or drug. Okay? I have exactly 9 years and 9 months clean and sober.
That's a blessing.
That is a blessing.
After some 45 years of active addiction. And in that time, you know, when I finally was able to make a conscious decision that I no longer was going to use, I realized that I needed to rechannel that energy. And so for me, it was returning to school.
Can I ask you a question? What made you want to change after 45 years?
After 45 years, number one, it was no longer fun. It was like a job. And my spirit was broken. You know, like I said, I was born to a good family, so I knew that I was living a life that went against everything that I was born to be. You know, everything that I was taught as a child. You know, my values went out the window, and that people need to understand that that is the nature of the disease of addiction. You know, the value system changes. You know, after a while, there are no values. Your decision-making processes become distorted. Soon, there are no decision-making processes. The only decision you make is to use and find ways and means to use some more. You know what I mean? And so, you know, that's where my life ended up. You know, I was talking to someone earlier. At the end of my road, I was living in an empty, abandoned car in an empty lot.
Wow.
And my family owned homes 4 blocks away, and I couldn't get there because I had to use by any means necessary. And by that time, it's not a choice. It just happens. You get so engrossed in the devastation and the drama, of the addiction that you're not making any choices. It becomes automatic after a while. And sometimes you don't even realize it. And again, in that same conversation, I was telling the person that I think a higher power sent the police around that corner to arrest me. I say arrest because that's what happened, but in reality, I was rescued from myself. From myself. And it was then that I decided that was it. I wasn't going to do that anymore. I wasn't going to live like that anymore. Was it easy? No. Wasn't hard either. It was just different.
So how did your life change in them years?
Oh, wow. How did my life change? Well, I did a treatment program. And in that program, I finally was able to work on some issues that I needed to work on. And I began to realize that the drug use was the end of the actual problem. That I was the problem. My attitudes were the problem. How I felt about Monica was the problem. And once I was able to address those things, it was easy not to return to using. Because by then I was able to build my self-esteem, my confidence, realize that I could still do some stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because you kind of give up when you're in the grips of an active addiction. In the 9 years and 9 months that I've been clean and sober, I've gone back to college. I have 2 college degrees. I have a job. I have my first apartment ever, because I never had an apartment with a lease in my name. And I'm happy, joyous, and free. Do I make a lot of money? No. No. But I'm not giving it to the drug man anymore, so it's enough. Plus, I have a job that is rewarding, so that keeps me motivated.
That's good. Well, I know a little bit more about you that you tell me. How far up in school did you go?
I have a master's degree in human services.
And that's a blessing. You see, that's some of the things that's helped me do what I'm doing now. Even though I'm taking a chance, I'm not giving up. And as I keep taking chances, things get better. Because you showed me just by your story alone. And Miss Nelson here, your story, girl, your story and your heart.
You know what? It's funny because when you said your end was in an abandoned car, and I can remember it was in October, freezing. I had on a mini skirt and a fox jacket, weighing about 60 pounds, thinking I'm all that. So it's like it was the insanity of it was just horrid.
Horrible. Yeah.
I started using late. Well, I started using. I was 21 when my mom's passed. Mentally, something, I don't know what, I just lost it. And so happens, I'm with a guy that had everything at my disposal, so it went for 9 years straight, consecutive, all day, every day, all night. And then at the end, I didn't know I didn't even know who I was, where I was who. I didn't trust anybody. I was in the state, such a paranoia. I was like, lost 5 kids, don't know where my kids was at, gave birth to 3. In the crack spot, delivered them myself. Everything was just insane, totally tore down. And for me, I found the number of a friend, a very good friend, and called them, and they came and got me and took me upstate. And January 15th made 17 years that I've been clean. So I say, God is good. I had nothing. I had no GED, nothing. Went to school. First I went into construction. Did the program. The program was like, I went to a TC, so it wasn't no red roses. They telling me what to do. I'm like, oh, they crazy. But everything happens for a reason. I needed that. Right. I needed that. And did the program, went to a halfway house. But what I did, I had a little pit stop because I went to halfway house, still had stinking thinking, met a guy, and left the halfway house and went to live with him. And then about a month later, he started whipping my ass out. So that was it then. Then I went to the shelter. I said, that's it for me. That was it. That was just it. So I said, I got to do something. So I went back to school, got my GED, and started doing construction work. Never had a driver's license, got the driver's license. Went to school because I wanted to be a counselor. So I did the substance abuse. And while I was going there, I started telling everybody about the school, and a week before I graduated, they hired me as their marketing manager. So, but to this day, I'm now the program director of 2 campuses, and I live in Pennsylvania. I have my house, which I still don't have no money. I'm still broke.
That's all right.
But it's
That's
okay.
right.
You know, I have my firstborn. She's 30. I don't know my other 4 yet. And I live with, when I see other girls around in their age group, I always look and see if I see any type of resemblance. Any type of resemblance. Could that be my daughter or whatever like that? But I'm good in my soul and my spirit with it because things happen for a reason. And it was out of my control. But my life today is, I can't even begin to tell you how good that I feel with just being. My life is much better now being in recovery than when I was before I used drugs.
Yeah.
I have a respect for just the little minor things, and teaching classes. I'm teaching people that's coming in from programs, and like I still don't believe. Let me pinch myself and see it.
Yeah.
You know, life is good. You just gotta stay consistent. That's my motto. You stay consistent. Negativity, I don't have time for. I don't see it because I'm staying forward.
And one thing I'm gonna say about you, Don, I too went to the school to get my KSAC. You ran around like crazy, but you were helping everybody and with your pure heart.
Yeah.
I couldn't see how someone could do that, you know? And then hearing this little pieces of your story and to see who you are today, that you don't know how much that helped me from the inside. You know, I wanted to do the same, just like with you, Monica. I wanted to do the same to let people know that no matter what,
it works.
It works. It works a day at a time. Some people talk about abstinence from drugs, but I look at it like the way Monica was talking about harm reduction. Even though you slow down, you don't have to stop immediately. Just slow down. It's a process. Like you said, it's a process.
It is a process.
And it's work. But always keep your mind on the goal.
That's it.
You know, I understand today, because I had to go through it, about baby steps. You know, look at me today. I'm interviewing y'all, you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
You know,
That's
about
right.
baby steps.
Right.
And here y'all the ones who's helped me to get to this point. That's why it was so important for me to have y'all as my first guest on
Thank you.
Everybody's Somebody.
Thank you.
know?
To touch on something that you touched on as well too, the harm reduction piece. You know, because everybody knows about the larger programs, the Phoenix Houses, the JCAPs, the Samaritan Villages, you know. And it's been my experience. Say I did 5 programs. 5 programs. The larger programs really don't work for me. Now this is just my story. I'm bossy. I got some control issues. You know, I was a little more educated than most in the program, and so I would go in and become the expedited coordinator, start running stuff, and never get the treatment I was there for. It wasn't until I chose a smaller program to go to, you know, for all women, that I was able to really get the help and do the work that I needed to do on Monica. You know, but I work in the harm reduction agency. And I like it, though. I have a KSAC. I believe in what Oasis does. I like harm reduction better.
Could you explain this a little bit more?
You know, harm reduction is geared towards helping people reduce the harm that they do to themselves through their behaviors and through their attitudes. And so the concept came up because they realized that everybody doesn't fit into the abstinence only box. There are some people who need to work on reducing the harm and not just stop. You understand what I'm saying? And so the agency I work for is a harm reduction agency, and that's how we deal with it. You know, we have clients who are in recovery. We have clients who are early recovery. We have clients who are just in sobriety, you know, but they're still practicing some behaviors. And then we have those who are still active. And all we ask is that you respect the agency and you respect yourself by not coming to a group or to an appointment high and incoherent.
That's the only requirement.
That's the only requirement. But if you are in early recovery and you slip up, you go in the wrong neighborhood on the weekend or whatever, you can still come in and let us know. Mm-hmm. We're not pulling urine. We're not putting people on contract. We're not throwing you out. You know what I'm saying? What we want to know is what was going on, what can we help you with so that maybe that same mistake doesn't happen again.
And the next person.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that's what harm reduction is about. And I love it. I don't think I would ever work.
It's very good. See, I do the harm reduction with the cigarette, with the overall tobacco. I do it with the students, and I tell them every class I get 2 or 3 to stop, quit. Mm-hmm. And I tell them just wean yourself off because everybody just can't stop.
Exactly.
So if they smoke a pack a week, take 5 out and smoke the 15. But just every 3 months, then take some out. Until you're eventually right.
So that harm reduction works in all kinds of categories.
Mm-hmm. It's working for me right now. I used to smoke 3 packs of cigarettes a day. Mm. I'm down to like a half a pack.
It works really
because
well.
I've weaned myself because I've been smoking for 45 years.
That's what I be hearing. That's what students be telling me.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And my doctor's been after me because of my health. They say, well, when you gonna stop smoking? I said, look, I don't stop doing everything else. See, you gonna leave me in my Newport?
That's what happened with me though. When I went away, you had to stop it. They took everything from me. So when I finished it, I did the program. I said, okay, well, I'm good now. So as long as I don't do, like if I pick up a cigarette, then I'm going to have to drink. If I have a drink, I'm going to have a cigarette.
One thing leads to another for a lot of
So that was it.
Yeah.
I let everything go.
But it can be done, and I think that's the message. And I'm like I said, I'm very glad that you invited us. You know what I'm saying? Because I know Donna knows me. We are always trying to share a message of hope and encouragement to everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To everybody.
People read out on the street. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm always preaching to the choir.
No, that's
always.
Right. I can attest to that.
Yes.
I can attest to that. You just got to...
It's just a part of us. That's it.
Yeah, when you get clean, I remember when I first got clean and I got my sponsor. I wanted to go up in the crack spot with the NA book and get everybody, come on, y'all can do this. My sponsor said, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. What you can do is lead by example.
Right.
Exactly.
What you can do is give them some of the information that you got. And hope they use it. And that's what I did, and I prayed a lot. And believe it, I prayed a lot.
I pray all the time.
Oh my goodness, not just for me, but for everybody.
Right.
And believe it or not, I now work with a young lady that I used with.
Wow.
That when she saw me, she said, if Monica could do it, I know I could do it. Next thing I knew, she was in the rooms. And now we are co-workers.
Wow.
That's right. So the power of example. Yeah. Leading by example is where it's at, really.
And talking about that, the example, like I said, I want to hit it again, that y'all two showed me.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? And being that y'all women, because for me, women getting out the life is so much harder than a man.
One of the things in my class when I graduated, they asked us as a master's graduate, what were we going to do without degree? And I want to open a program for women. In school I had to do a lot of research, for my different papers. And my pet peeve is women. I have to say that. My pet peeve is work. We present with a whole different array of issues. We're mothers. We're looked at differently in the community and in our families. There's more expectations on us, believe it or not. You might not really see it every day, but there are, some expectations that we don't always live up to or not able to live up to. So when we fall, all of that comes with us. All that guilt, all that shame, all that shoulda, coulda, woulda. You know what I'm saying? And then we're emotional beings. So everything, we don't rationalize well. We can emotionalize it. You know what I'm saying? It's all we absorb everything. Everybody's stuff, everybody's pain, everybody's wishes. You know what I'm saying? And we carry it. You know, and then another thing is that we were talking about it earlier, you know, we got a built-in asset that we kind of rely on when all else fails. You know, that keeps us out there.
Right.
Yeah.
That keeps us out there. You know, not to mention the kids, you know, that we ain't really taking care of, but we scared we going to lose them.
See, when I lost mine.
You know what I'm saying? And so,
and that was just like a green card. When it happened and they said, well, they came and got him. Yeah. My attitude was, okay, well, you did me a favor. Now it's good. That's it.
I can do what I want to do. Yeah. Yeah.
So
I would have never dreamed it.
And it's now, it's funny seeing now my coworker is my firstborn. Is my firstborn. And for when I first, her and I first reunited, she would not, I couldn't even hug her. She like, and now we're tight as.
Yeah, it's like that with my son as well. Like that with my son.
I couldn't hug her, and I used to feel like, oh my God. I used to cry.
I fix this?
Right.
Yeah. You know. And a lot of people don't realize that the children, all they want is their parent.
Yeah.
All they want is their parent. You can't buy it. You can't buy it. Some of them will hold you hostage if you let them. You know what I'm saying? But once you regain your own self-confidence and your self-esteem goes up, you don't allow nobody to hold you hostage. Because I told my son point blank, I made some mistakes, but I don't owe you nothing.
That's it.
We're going to move forward. I'm going to let you say what you need to say. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to get it out in the open so our relationship can move on.
Right.
And that's what I did. And so now he's my best friend. Another thing that I really wanted to say too, you know, a lot of people don't believe my age, but I always share it because so many people think that when you get a certain age, it's over, especially if you've used, you know, and you've been to jail and things of that nature. I am 64 years old.
Oh, girl.
I will be 65 years old in November. And I did not get clean until I was 54 years old.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And so I had to learn.
54 and you accomplished all that?
I went into treatment at 54 years old. Wow. And I have not looked back. That's right.
Wow.
That's right.
That's why I said never give up.
You know, and out of active addiction, I've been living with the virus for over 26 years.
Wow.
You know, so going back into the workforce, going back to school, the 12-step program, having a support network, having people in my life that cared about me, and learning how to care about myself helped me create a balance. So I'm just here to say that anybody can do it. I don't care where you've been, where you haven't been, who said what. The devil is a liar. Anything is possible.
Right.
That's right. Anything is possible.
Wow.
Life
I'm
is
just
good.
amazed.
That's right.
I'm just amazed. Y'all just got me here just stunned. But there was a professor, Professor Rashid, who was one of the, not one, but was my best educator just for being him. They said the love that he put for people in front of him, and he did it so easily that he was made for it. I remember hearing Mayor Dinkins talk about Maya Angelou when she passed. Mayor Dinkins said that if there was a price to pay to go into heaven by helping people, she was paid in full. She paid in full. Dr. Rashid was in that same class because he helped, I can honestly say, hundreds, maybe more. You know, so I'd like to dedicate the show to him.
That's great.
Anything else you?
He always said that the clients aren't your purpose. They're not a interruption of your day. They're the purpose of your day. I loved it, and I still use that to this day.
Yeah. Would you believe that that's where I met Donna at the school?
That's right. Yeah.
When I did my case at T.
It's easy. Small world.
Yeah.
It's definitely a small world.
Definitely.
But this just shows how it works.
That's right.
Definitely
This
does.
is just showing how it works. Well, I'd like to thank my guest.
Thank
Once
you
again,
for having
Monica
me.
Holmes.
Thank you for having me.
Donna Nelson.
Thank you.
Wow. And my name is Will Robertson. And like I said, this is the purpose for the show. Just to let everybody know it's not over. It's not over.